that the highest spiritual discipline that we can perform is to follow implicitly the divine command. We as human beings have a divine command to follow truth and dharma. And as member of the Sai organization also we have a divine command to follow his divine instructions implicitly. What are the divine commands for the Sai organization? I was a witness of his divine instructions. I was invited, I had the honor of having been invited together with Dr. Reddy, William Harvey, and Dr. Goldstein to be a member of the Prashanti Council. He invited us to his house, and there he gave us so much love. He filled our hearts with love. He gave us precise instructions of the purpose of the Prashanti Council, of how we should work, of what was the purpose of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization. I also participated in the creation of the guidelines that were presented to Swami for his divine approval. He went through every page, made corrections. So Swami was the founder, the creator of the present Sri Satya Sai International Organization, of its structure and its guidelines. Even, every time we have a work conference, the guidelines were updated. A few months before Swami left his physical body, Dr. Goldstein and Dr. Reddy met with him in his house. And if you remember, the last time Swami spoke very, very feeble. His voice was very difficult to hear. But at that meeting, Swami spoke very loud and clear. And he went through every page of the guidelines, made corrections, approved, and blessed them. So the present structure of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization, starting by the Sai centers, then at the national level, we have the National Council, then we have central coordinators, zone chairs, and then Swami created the Prashanti Council and the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation to administer and govern the international organization. He gave us even the instruction to go to every corner of the world to spread his message. So dear brothers and sisters, why we don't accept this global council? I will tell you. When all this started, I called our brother Ratnakar. I spoke with him. And from the first call, he spoke to me very bad about Dr. Reddy and about some people that were working with us. The first talk I had with him, and in the first talk, he offered me to replace Dr. Reddy. So they had a plan from the beginning to dismantle the Sri Satya Sai International Organization, to take away the Prashanti Council, to take away the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation. What they wanted and what they want is to take power, to take over the Sri Satya Sai International Organization. They want to do what Swami dissolved in 1987. They want to appoint from India, the Central Trust wants to become the apex body of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization and of the Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization of India, and appoint the officers. When Swami dissolved the World Council, he did that because the international organization has grown so much, and he told the Indulage at that moment that they didn't know what was happening abroad. They didn't know the culture of the international countries. So they couldn't run from there, the international organization. The international organization had to be run by each country, and then he created the Prashanti Council and the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation to be the administrative and governing body of the whole international organization. A couple of days later, after my call with Ratnakar, I spoke to Brother Naganan. And I spoke with him about what all this, why was the purpose of this. And he told me something very simple. He said to me, this is a done deal. When I spoke 2 days earlier with Ratnakar, he told me, we will not do anything without your feedback. We don't want to disturb or disrupt the international organization. But 2 days later, I heard from Naganan that this was a done deal. So from the beginning, they were not expecting any feedback from us. They were not willing to accept any opinion. They just wanted to do what they wanted to do. They wanted to become the apex body, to appoint the officers. They prepared a concept paper. And what we didn't accept was the concept paper. We had no problem to accept a body that we can meet and discuss things. But the concept paper was something where the Central Trust became the apex body, the governing body of all the side organization of India and international, with the power to appoint, remove, change, whatever they like. So that is why we didn't accept that. We spoke many times with them. I spoke with Brother Naganan, with Brother Randakar, with Brother Mohan, 3 members of the Central Trust. Dr. Reddy spoke with 5 members of the Central Trust. And we couldn't achieve anything. We told them we must find some common place, but we cannot betray Swami's divine instruction. Swami told us that we should be independent, we should be run by the Prashanti Council at the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation, and this is our Dharma. We cannot go against the divine command. That is why we never accepted that. On April, I spoke with Brother Mohan and I asked him to let me speak. He let me speak for 15 minutes. When I finished, I said, please, you speak. And he spoke to me. And he told me, Leonardo, the concept paper is left behind. Forget about that. Let's form a body with 3 members of the Central Trust, 3 members of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization, and 3 members of the Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization of India. And that will be a consultative body. We can share information, we can discuss plans. And I said, this is very good. I will present it to the Prashanti Council and the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation. And I felt that we have found a solution. We had no problem to that. I spoke with Dr. Reddy. Dr. Reddy was very happy with it. He even mentioned who could be the members of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization in that body. But to our surprise, next morning, he received an email from Naganan, reaffirming the concept paper. All what the previous night Mohan said that was left behind, again with the same thing. All the points of the concept paper. Not only that, that email was very condescending, very unfriendly, not with words that I will never say to a Sai brother, that I don't dare to repeat it here. So when we received that paper, we said, what is happening here? One member of the Central Trust says one thing one night and the other says the opposite the next day. There is no point to talking to them if they don't reach a consensus between them. We tried to reach out to them, to speak to them, but let me tell you, from the beginning, they had a decision. They were not waiting for any answer from us. They just wanted to take over, to destroy the Prashanti Council, to destroy the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation. And brothers and sisters, we don't care about our positions. I don't care about the seat in the veranda. What we care is that we receive the divine instructions. I heard with my ears, and I was present with my body when Swami gave the instructions to the Prashanti Council, what was the purpose of it. I was a witness when he gave the instructions of forming the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation. I was there, so I know what was the divine sankalpa, the divine will. So I cannot betray that. I cannot go against his divine command. Just to give you another example, with this COVID, a few days, last week, Dr. Reddy spoke with Nimish Pandya. He offered him help for the COVID, offered to send oxygen cylinders to India. Nimish Pandya was very happy with this help. He even wanted more than we could offer. So we decided to move forward. But the next day, Nimish Pandya called us rejecting the help, saying that they had enough resources to help themselves. Of course, he received the call from Randakar saying that they couldn't accept any help from us. This is not something humanitarian. Anyway, the Sri Satya Sai World Foundation will help India and we will send the oxygen cylinders to another organization in India because we are following the teachings of Swami, help ever, hurt never. So dear brothers and sisters, what I want to tell you is this. What is the purpose of the Global Council? No one knows. The only thing I know is the only purpose they have is that they want to control all the Sri Satya Sai International and India organization.